Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight after Rangers somehow, someway defeated Aberdeen by 3-2 at Pittodrie with the most dramatic comeback you will ever see. Rangers were honking. I cannot stress that enough. Rangers were rotten tonight. We couldn't pass the ball, we couldn't find a teammate, we had no shape, our defending was poor, and we looked on the way to a certain defeat, and yet somehow with goals in the 94th, the 97th minute from Scott Arfield managed to win the game. Football, bloody hell, as someone once said, an incredible turnaround, and it's actually left me scratch my head about when was the last time Rangers come back with a late winner in an important game. It feels like a long time ago. Trying to make some sense of it. It doesn't change a lot of the feelings that we have about certain players, about the job the manager has to do, about needing to move certain players on and refresh the squad. But it does feel good. It does really feel good. Rangers made one change tonight with Connor Goldson coming back into the side. It was good to see him. And he was partnered by James Sands rather than Leon King, who was on the bench, or Ben Davis. I can only think that's with an eye to Ross County on Friday. We do have another game, and Connor Goldson's unlikely, I think, to play both. But James Sands had a very uncomfortable night. Rangers actually started reasonably well and took the lead after 11 minutes. Some nice play led to the ball coming into the box. Fashion Sakalas had a swipe at it. He's miskicked it, but the Aberdeen defender, instead of clearing it, just returns it to him, and first time shot into the net for 1-0. That's what I like about Sakala. He does contribute. He does get numbers. He can be frustrating. He really can. But he does. And a few minutes later, Rangers almost made it 2 after great play by Tillman to get to the byline, cuts it back. Alfie turns and smashes a shot and the keeper saves it. And at that point, I was feeling pretty good about life. Rangers stopped, and we've seen it far too often from this team. We just stop, and we can't continue to do that. And Aberdeen grew into the match. They missed a sitter when their midfielder Aramat has rolled it past the post, and Rangers were sloppy, we were slack, we were giving the ball away. We still looked dangerous with Kent in his free roll, offering a little bit. Sakala was looking dangerous, he had a shot just over. The goal we conceded before half-time is atrocious. Sakala loses the ball on the halfway line unnecessarily. James Sands is out of position, so he's not in a position to make the first tackle correctly, and he loses the challenge, and then he hauls the player down outside the box to get booked. And then Alan McGregor should save it. He takes a step to one side, leaving too much of his post exposed. And it's a good hit from Duke, but it's a savable shot. He should save it. And instead, we're 1-1 down with a goal that was entirely preventable. You're waiting on a reaction. We got one against Hibs. We didn't get it in the second half. Rangers got worse, not better. And it was no surprise when Aberdeen took the lead. Again, James Sands fails to cut out a clearance. Well, he gets a foot on it, but just deflects it to the edge of the box. Good finish, to be fair. And it's 2-1. And it was deserved. We couldn't complain. At that point, Michael Beale makes 4 changes. And I know that we're not quite used to that yet, but you are allowed 5 subs. Making 4 changes is not a good sign because it means 4 players have been awful. But I don't think it's quite this wild Pedro-esque thing when you've still got another sub that you can bring on. Scott Arfield changes the game, and even though in the cold light of Pittodrie, we might have been going, well, he should have scored 2 chances. He at least made 2 chances for himself. One was a good save by the keeper, the other he put straight down his throat. But look, Rangers didn't look like scoring, right? We had a lot of the ball. I think Aberdeen made a mistake because Aberdeen sat in as soon as he scored, whereas if they'd gone for it and kept playing, I think they could have added to their tally. But they sat back and invited Rangers on, and Rangers did keep going. We get a goal in the 93rd minute. I must admit, I didn't jump out my seat because I was like, well, fair enough. The only kind of joy that it brought was, well, it ruins their night, but it didn't really help us in terms of where we want to be. Scott Arfield does really, really well to react. When Ryan Kent has a shot, the keeper spills, and there's Scott Arfield to make it 2-2. It's a good finish, actually. And then we get the winner. And again, it's Scott Arfield just popping up. And it was brilliant. At one of those shots, he hits it into the ground and it loops up. And you thought, that's going in. And it went. And Rangers had the victory. Aberdeen might as well wrap playing us, because if they couldn't beat us playing like that, then they never will. But from a Rangers point of view, players, we know that there are players in that team who are past it, and there are players who will never be up to the standard we need. But I'm a football fan, and my team's just scored 2 goals in injury time to win, so I'm going to enjoy it, and I'll do all the analysis tomorrow. Right now, it's just about yes. So I hope you enjoyed it after 93 minutes of torture, and I'll be back on Friday after we take on Ross County. Thank you very much, Scott Arfield. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.